Wondering if there's something you're just not getting? Well, you're not alone. Today, we're diving deep into some harsh realities about women that every man should be aware of. But don't worry, we're approaching this with the wisdom of Stoicism, aiming for understanding and growth. So, let's get started. 1. The nature of attraction. Have you ever wondered what truly attracts women? It's a question many men ponder, but the answer often eludes them, veiled behind misconceptions and societal stereotypes. Today, we're diving deep into the nature of attraction, shedding light on a harsh reality every man should understand. The truth is, attraction goes far beyond the superficial. Yes, physical appearance plays a role, but it's not the cornerstone of genuine attraction. What really draws women in? Confidence, emotional intelligence, authenticity. Women are attracted to men who are comfortable in their own skin, who possess a deep sense of self-awareness, and who understand the importance of emotional connection. Consider this scenario. A man walks into a room, not the most physically striking by conventional standards, but there's something about him. It's the way he carries himself, the warmth in his smile, and the attentiveness in his eyes as he engages with those around him. This man knows who he is, respects himself and others, and communicates with sincerity. That's attractive. But here's where many men stumble, believing that attraction is a one-way street, focused solely on what they can offer or how they can change themselves to be more appealing. The harsh reality is that attraction is a dynamic two-way process. It's about connecting on a level that's deeper than just physical appearance or material wealth. It's about showing genuine interest in their thoughts, dreams, and feelings, and being open about your own. And this is where Stoicism comes into play. Stoicism teaches us the value of understanding our emotions, managing them wisely, and focusing on what truly matters in life. Applying Stoic principles, men can learn to foster authentic connections by being present, practicing empathy, and embracing the virtues that cultivate true attraction. So, what's the takeaway? Attraction is not just about looking good or having the right lines. It's about being genuine, embracing emotional intelligence, and connecting on a deeper level. That's the kind of attraction that not only draws people in but also forms the foundation of lasting relationships. Let's start a conversation. What's your perspective on the nature of attraction? How do you think emotional intelligence and authenticity play into it? Share your thoughts and experiences. Together, let's unravel the complexities of attraction and understand it in a more meaningful way. 2. The importance of communication. Ever found yourself in a conversation where you and the person you're talking to just can't seem to connect, no matter how hard you try? It's like you're speaking two different languages. This brings us to our next crucial point: the importance of communication. It's a reality that, frankly, many of us struggle with, especially in our relationships with women. Communication is the bridge between misunderstanding and clarity, between conflict and peace. But here's the harsh truth many men face. Effective communication isn't just about conveying your thoughts. It's equally about listening, truly listening, to understand the other person. It's about empathy, being present, and engaging with the heart as well as the mind. Picture this. You're having dinner with someone important to you. She's talking about her day, the challenges she faced, and how she felt. You're nodding, but your mind is elsewhere, thinking about work, your next meeting, or maybe just formulating your response before she's even finished speaking. This, right here, is where many men stumble. We think we're communicating because we're talking or because we're physically present. But communication is so much more. It's about connection, about showing that you value the other person's experience and emotions. And here's where it gets even more challenging. Communication isn't just verbal. It's in our actions, our gestures, our tone of voice, and even our silence. Women often perceive communication more holistically, picking up on nuances that we might not even be aware we're expressing. This is why understanding the importance of communication is vital. It's not just about what we say. It's about how we say it and what we do that truly conveys our intentions and feelings. Stoicism teaches us the value of clarity and honesty in our communication. It encourages us to listen as much as we speak, to express our thoughts and feelings with integrity, and to be mindful of our presence in every interaction. By applying these principles, we can overcome barriers in communication, foster deeper connections, and build relationships based on mutual understanding and respect. So, let's reflect on this. How do we communicate not just with our words, but with our whole being? How can we ensure that we're truly listening and engaging with those around us? It's a journey, no doubt, but one well worth embarking on for the sake of stronger, more meaningful connections. Share your thoughts below. Have you experienced a breakthrough in communication? Or perhaps you're facing challenges? Let's discuss and learn from each other, forging better paths in our communication with the women in our lives. 3. Independence versus interdependence. Have you ever felt the pressure to be everything in a relationship? To be the rock, the provider, the emotional anchor, all while maintaining your own sense of self and independence. This balancing act introduces us to our next crucial topic: independence versus interdependence in relationships with women. Understanding this dynamic is not just important, it's essential for healthy, lasting connections. Let's get one thing clear: independence is incredibly attractive. It signifies strength, self-sufficiency, and the ability to stand alone. It's about knowing who you are and being comfortable with that. But here's where the waters get murky for many men. There's a fine line between being independent and being emotionally unavailable or distant. True independence isn't about building walls or keeping someone at arm's length. It's about being secure enough in yourself that you can share your life with someone without losing your identity. Now flip the coin, and we have interdependence. This is where the magic of relationships really happens. It's a state of mutual dependence, where two people support each other, not out of necessity, but out of choice. It's about being strong together, combining your strengths, and facing challenges as a team. It doesn't mean you're incomplete without the other. Rather, it means that together, you're even stronger. Imagine a relationship where both partners have their own passions, interests, and friendships outside of the relationship. They're like two pillars supporting the same structure, close enough to provide support, but far enough apart to maintain their individuality. This is interdependence. It's not about sacrificing your independence for the relationship. It's about integrating it, creating a partnership where both people can grow, both as individuals and together. But here's the harsh reality. Achieving this balance is easier said than done. It requires communication, understanding, and most importantly, trust. It's about trusting your partner to support your independence while also being willing to lean on them when needed. And this is where many men struggle. We're often taught to be lone wolves, that needing someone is a sign of weakness. But in the Stoic philosophy, there's a recognition of the strength in unity, the power in vulnerability, and the wisdom in seeking balance. So, how do we navigate this? It starts with a conversation. Open up about your needs and fears, listen to hers, and together, find a way to build a relationship that honors both your independence and your shared life. Remember, it's not about losing yourself in the relationship. It's about finding yourselves together. Now I turn it to you. How do you view independence and interdependence in your relationships? Have you found the right balance? Share your experiences and insights below. Let's learn from each other and grow together in understanding. 4. Emotional complexity. Have you ever been caught off guard by the depth of someone's emotions, finding yourself at a loss for how to respond? This leads us to our fourth pivotal insight: emotional complexity. Understanding the multifaceted nature of emotions, especially in relationships with women, is crucial. It's a reality that can deepen connections, but also one that requires patience, empathy, and a willingness to learn. Emotions aren't black and white. They're a spectrum of feelings, thoughts, and experiences, often all mixed together. And here's the harsh truth. Many of us, especially men, are taught to keep our emotions in check, to remain stoic in the face of adversity. But Stoicism, in its true form, isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about understanding them, managing them wisely, and learning from them. Consider a scenario where your partner is upset about something you can't quite grasp. She's expressing her frustration, maybe even her sadness or anger, but the reason seems elusive to you. It's easy to get defensive, to wonder why something seemingly small is causing such a strong reaction. But here's where emotional complexity comes into play. What might appear as a minor issue on the surface could be tied to deeper feelings or unresolved issues. It's not just about the what, it's about the why behind the emotions. Embracing emotional complexity means stepping into those uncomfortable spaces, asking questions, and really listening to the answers. It's about recognizing that emotions, even the difficult ones, are part of being human. They offer insights into our deepest desires, fears, and values. By acknowledging and respecting the emotional complexity of women, we not only show our support and understanding, but also open the door to a deeper, more intimate connection. But how do we navigate this complexity? Start by creating a safe space for emotions to be expressed without judgment. Practice active listening, where you focus on understanding her perspective, rather than immediately trying to fix the problem. Remember, sometimes it's not about finding a solution. It's about showing that you're there, that you care, and that her feelings are valid. And here's the kicker. Understanding emotional complexity isn't just about improving your relationships with women. It's about enriching your own emotional life. It encourages us to explore our own feelings, to understand what drives us, and to become more empathetic, compassionate individuals. So I challenge you. Next time you find yourself faced with emotional complexity, don't shy away from it. Embrace it as an opportunity to learn, to connect, and to grow. Share your thoughts and experiences below. How do you handle emotional complexity in your relationships? Let's continue the conversation and support each other in navigating the rich tapestry of human emotions. 5. The reality of change. Ever looked back at a relationship and wondered, when did everything change? This brings us to our final, yet profoundly significant insight: the reality of change. Change is an inevitable part of life and relationships. It's a truth that, while sometimes harsh, can also lead us to growth and deeper understanding if we navigate it wisely. Change can manifest in many ways. People grow, their interests evolve, life circumstances shift. What was once a shared path might start to diverge. It's here that many relationships face their toughest test. The harsh reality is that not every relationship is meant to withstand these changes. However, this doesn't have to be a negative revelation. Instead, it can be a call to action, an opportunity to adapt and grow together, if both parties are willing. Think of a tree. Over the years, it grows taller, its branches spread wider, and its roots dig deeper. Relationships are similar. Over time, they're meant to evolve, to stretch into new spaces, and to strengthen at the core. Yet, sometimes, those branches might grow in different directions. The key is in how we respond to this growth. Do we resist the change, trying to force the relationship back into what it once was? Or do we embrace the growth, finding new ways to connect and support each other? Stoicism teaches us to embrace change as a natural part of life, to focus on what we can control: our actions, our attitudes, and our responses. It's about recognizing that change is not a threat, but an opportunity for development, for both individuals and the relationship itself. It's about practicing acceptance, not passivity. Accepting change doesn't mean giving up. It means understanding the reality of the situation and adapting in a way that aligns with our values and well-being. Embracing change requires communication, flexibility, and most importantly, compassion. It's about sitting down together, discussing the changes you're experiencing, and exploring ways to navigate this new phase of your relationship. It might mean adjusting your expectations, finding new shared interests, or sometimes making the difficult decision to part ways, recognizing that it's the healthiest choice for both of you. Here's the takeaway. The reality of change in relationships is not something to fear, but to understand and embrace. It's a testament to the dynamic nature of human connections. So, let's open the floor. How have you experienced change in your relationships? How did you navigate it? And what did you learn? Share your stories below. Together, we can learn to embrace change, not as an end, but as a pathway to new beginnings and deeper connections. 6. The illusion of perfection. Have you ever fallen into the trap of believing that a perfect relationship exists? That if you just find the right person, everything will fall into place without effort, disagreements, or challenges? This leads us into a crucial but often overlooked insight: the illusion of perfection in relationships. It's a harsh reality many face, leading to unnecessary disappointment and strain. The pursuit of perfection in relationships is like chasing a mirage. It's an illusion that can cause us to overlook the beauty of what we actually have. Real relationships are built on understanding, compromise, and yes, accepting each other's flaws. They require work, patience, and a willingness to grow together. The idea that a relationship can be perfect is a myth that sets unrealistic expectations, making every hurdle seem like a failure. Imagine for a moment a relationship where everything is perfect. No disagreements, no challenges, no growth. It might sound ideal, but it's actually static, without the dynamic experiences that deepen our connections and make us appreciate each other more deeply. It's through overcoming obstacles together that we strengthen our bond, learn about each other, and grow as individuals and as a couple. Stoicism teaches us the value of facing reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. It encourages us to focus on our own actions, responses, and growth, rather than trying to mold our relationships into an unrealistic ideal. Accepting the imperfections in our relationships and ourselves allows us to build stronger, more authentic connections. It's about finding perfection in the imperfection, appreciating the unique quirks, and understanding that love is not about finding the perfect person, but seeing an imperfect person perfectly. So, how do we move beyond the illusion of perfection? It starts with setting realistic expectations, both of ourselves and our relationships. It involves embracing vulnerability, allowing ourselves and our partners to be seen fully, flaws and all. It's about committing to growth and understanding, knowing that challenges are not signs of failure but opportunities for deepening our connection. Let's reflect on this together. How has the pursuit of perfection affected your relationships? How can embracing imperfection lead to a more fulfilling connection? Share your thoughts and experiences below. By shedding light on the illusion of perfection, we can pave the way for more genuine, resilient, and loving relationships. 7. The value of independence. In our journey through the complex landscapes of relationships, there's a concept that's both incredibly valuable and often misunderstood: the value of independence. It's a key theme that, if navigated correctly, can significantly enhance the dynamics between men and women. But what does independence really mean in the context of a relationship, and why is it so crucial? Independence in a relationship doesn't mean you don't need each other. It means you choose to be with each other, while still nurturing your own personal growth, interests, and friendships. It's about being a whole individual, not seeking someone to complete you, but someone to complement the completeness you've cultivated within yourself. Consider the scenario of two individuals who love to travel. One loves solo adventures, exploring new cities and cultures on their own. The other finds joy in sharing these experiences with their partner. In a relationship valuing independence, both individuals can pursue their version of happiness without resentment or restriction. They understand that being apart to pursue personal interests doesn't diminish their connection. It enriches it, bringing back new stories, experiences, and learnings to share with each other. The harsh reality is, without maintaining a sense of independence, relationships can become stifling. Clinging too tightly, expecting one person to be your everything, puts an immense strain on both partners. It can lead to feelings of suffocation, loss of self, and ironically, a weakening of the bond you're trying to protect. Stoicism teaches us the importance of self-sufficiency and personal freedom. It encourages us to find happiness within ourselves rather than relying solely on external sources, including our relationships. By valuing independence, we not only enhance our own lives, but also bring a richer, more fulfilled self to our relationships. Embracing independence within a relationship also means embracing trust. It's trusting that time spent apart, pursuing personal goals or interests, isn't a threat. Instead, it's a testament to the strength and security of your bond. It's an acknowledgement that a healthy relationship isn't about being inseparable, but about being secure enough to support each other's individual journeys. So, let's talk about this. How do you balance independence and togetherness in your relationships? Have you felt challenged in maintaining your sense of self while being committed to a partner? Share your stories and insights below. Together, we can navigate the beautiful balance between being our own person and being a part of something greater. 8. Misunderstanding of needs. Ever found yourself giving everything you think your partner wants, only to discover it's not what they needed at all? This brings us to another pivotal insight in our journey: the misunderstanding of needs. It's a common pitfall in relationships that can lead to frustration, disappointment, and disconnection. But understanding and addressing this issue can transform your relationship dynamics for the better. Needs in a relationship extend far beyond the basics of companionship and affection. They encompass emotional support, understanding, respect, and the space to grow individually. The harsh reality many face is assuming that their partner's needs mirror their own, or, even more dangerously, assuming they know what their partner needs without asking. This presumption leads to a disconnect, with efforts to strengthen the bond inadvertently missing the mark. Imagine planning a surprise weekend getaway, thinking it's exactly what your partner needs to unwind. You're puzzled when the gesture doesn't elicit the joy you expected. In reality, what they needed was a quiet weekend at home, away from any plans or schedules, to recharge. This scenario highlights the importance of communication and the willingness to listen and understand each other's needs, even when they don't align with your own expectations or desires. Addressing the misunderstanding of needs isn't just about asking what the other person wants. It's about truly listening to their answers and being open to understanding their perspective. It involves regular check-ins and open, honest communication. It's recognizing that needs can change over time, and what worked at one stage of your relationship might not be what's needed now. Stoicism offers a valuable perspective here, emphasizing the virtue of wisdom. The wisdom to know that we don't have all the answers and the courage to ask and listen. It teaches us to approach our relationships with a mindset of learning and discovery, understanding that the complexity of human needs is a journey we navigate together, not alone. So, how can we better understand and meet each other's needs? It starts with fostering an environment where both partners feel safe and valued in expressing their true needs. It's about making an effort to engage in conversations that delve deeper than the surface, encouraging vulnerability and trust. Let's open the dialogue. How have you navigated the misunderstanding of needs in your relationships? What strategies have you found effective in understanding and meeting your partner's needs? Share your experiences and insights below. By sharing, we can learn from each other and grow in our ability to love and support our partners in the way they truly need. 9. The challenge of vulnerability. Have you ever held back from showing your true feelings or admitting your fears, thinking it would make you appear weak? Welcome to the challenge of vulnerability, a crucial aspect of relationships that many find daunting yet incredibly rewarding once embraced. It's a topic that deserves our attention, for it's at the heart of building trust and deepening connections. Vulnerability is about letting someone see you for who you truly are, imperfections and all. It involves sharing your fears, your dreams, and even those parts of yourself you're not entirely proud of. It's about opening up the possibility of being hurt or rejected, which is why so many of us shy away from it. Yet, the harsh reality is that without vulnerability, relationships remain superficial, unable to reach the depth of connection that gives them true meaning. Imagine this scenario. You're going through a tough time, perhaps a challenge at work or a personal dilemma. Instead of opening up about it, You choose to keep it inside, fearing that admitting to these struggles might make you seem less in the eyes of your partner. But what if sharing that vulnerability was exactly what would bring you closer? By showing your true self, you allow your partner to do the same, fostering a bond built on genuine understanding and empathy. Many men are taught from a young age to hide their vulnerabilities, to man up, and not show emotion. This conditioning can make it especially hard to be vulnerable in relationships. However, Stoicism, when properly understood, actually encourages vulnerability. It teaches us that true strength lies in recognizing our emotions, understanding them, and sharing them with those we trust. Stoicism isn't about being emotionless. It's about managing our emotions in a healthy, constructive way. Embracing vulnerability starts with small steps. It might be sharing something personal that you've kept hidden, expressing emotions that you usually suppress, or simply admitting that you don't have all the answers. These actions signal to your partner that it's safe for them to be vulnerable too, creating a cycle of trust and openness. The challenge of vulnerability is not something to overcome but to embrace. It's an ongoing journey that can significantly enhance the intimacy and trust in your relationships. So, I ask you, what steps can you take today to embrace vulnerability with your partner? How can opening up transform your relationship? Share your thoughts and experiences with vulnerability below. Let's support each other in taking down the walls we've built around our hearts and discovering the strength in being truly seen. 10. Expectations versus reality. Ever caught yourself dreaming about how perfect your relationship should be, only to be brought back down to earth by the reality of everyday challenges? This is where we tackle the last, but by no means least, crucial insight. Expectations versus reality in relationships. It's an area ripe for misunderstanding and disappointment, but also for growth and deeper connection if we navigate it wisely. The truth is, many of us enter relationships armed with a laundry list of expectations: constant harmony, unwavering support, and a partner who understands us without a word being said. While these are beautiful aspirations, they can also set us up for disappointment. Reality, with its mix of misunderstandings, disagreements, and individual flaws, often falls short of these idealized visions. Consider the movies and stories that paint a picture of perfect love. While they warm our hearts, they also skew our perceptions, making us believe that real love is without conflict or struggle. But here's the harsh reality. Real love is messy. It's facing challenges together, working through disagreements, and accepting each other's imperfections. It's in these moments, not despite them, that love grows stronger. Let's take a common scenario. You expect your partner to know why you're upset without having to tell them. When they don't pick up on your cues, frustration builds. The reality: no one is a mind reader. Effective communication is key, and understanding that it's okay to express your needs and feelings openly can transform your relationship. Stoicism teaches us the value of managing our expectations, focusing on what is within our control and accepting what is not. This philosophy encourages us to see the beauty in reality, in the genuine, imperfect moments of connection. It's not about lowering our expectations, but aligning them with the truth of human nature and the complexity of relationships. Embracing the gap between expectations and reality doesn't mean settling for less. It means fostering gratitude for what we have, working together to overcome challenges, and finding joy in the journey of building a shared life. It's recognizing that the most profound love stories are not those without conflict, but those that navigate the conflicts together. So, I invite you to reflect. How have your expectations impacted your relationships? How can embracing the reality of love deepen your connection with your partner? Share your experiences and insights below. Together, let's explore the beauty of love in its truest form, beyond the veil of expectations. As we've explored these realities, remember, the goal isn't to critique or change others, but to reflect on our own actions and grow. Stoicism offers us tools to navigate relationships with understanding, patience, and resilience. So, what do you think? Have you experienced these realities? How has Stoicism helped you in your relationships? Let us know in the comments below.